My name is Ken Ikiara. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. I love the Lord dearly. I'm married to Janice. We've been married 34 years. We have 3 adult children. I have spent the last many years in the commercial space. I'm a business leader in general management, commercial activities, and I currently do a business advisory work supporting diverse funds, B2B, B2C, on governance, sales, marketing, senior management of HR. I think there are 3 things. The 3 things is I'd like to see to make a difference, a positive difference in the spheres where I have worked or wherever I've been involved, so that the people that I lead become better people than they were previously. I'd like to make a positive contribution, whatever the contribution is, depending on where I'm at. And if I get paid, that's a very nice bonus to have as well. It's not always for pay, but I'll appreciate that as well. My parents are not with us anymore, but if they were here, I think they would talk about leadership, maybe about responsibility, about seriousness, about focus. I think they might even say he's well behaved. Okay, I think that I draw over the years. It's a learning journey, and it's nowhere near ended. But I draw many of my habits, my practices from a number of things. First, from scriptural biblical principles, which are all of the scriptures. And despite having read it for many, many years, I'm still reading and understanding what the scriptures have to say. So I try to live out things like Matthew 25, the fruit of the Spirit. I try to live out the Sermon on the Mount. I try to live out the teachings of Jesus. But secondly, I'm a very... I closely follow the traditions of our people and the customs of our people. Even the scriptures, the Holy Bible was written in the context of certain cultures and traditions. And I hold very dear our customs and practices which are scripturally upright. And then thirdly, to really keep good company with my family, with my friends, and to make sure that the people who build me, who confront me, and who accept me. So these 3 areas are very important, and I think I would recommend them to anybody. I don't know about that. Success is a continuing journey, and my definition of success is the ability to continuously contribute to others, to receive from others, and to build wherever you are, and at the same time to become a better version of yourself every day. That's what I consider to be success, and everybody can be successful or not successful at whatever stage of life that they're at. And I try to think about those people I'm talking about in the context of what Jesus taught, and you will see that the Holy Spirit spoke in Acts chapter 2 and said it's your family, those people in Jerusalem. It's foreigners in Judea. It's people that you don't know much about. In fact, you might even detest people in Samaria. But it's also to the uttermost parts of the earth. And so success is you, wherever you are, whatever stage of life you're in, and you're not going to become, it's good to strive to become a success, but you can be a success where you're at. It's not in material things, it's in relationships, it's in friendships, it's in contributing and receiving. Yeah. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I've had people who have picked me up when I fell down. I've had people who have mentored me. I particularly remember one person early in my career, and I'm still not sure, this is many, many years ago, I'm still not sure why this person approached me and offered to mentor me. And it was a life-changing experience, him mentoring me, and me having the confidence to trust in him that you're showing me the right thing. Yes, relationships are very, very key. I have very strong relations with my family. I have friends who go back many, many years, 30, 40, 50 years, whom are very close friends. And my faith in Christ is also a key supreme relationship, yes. Yes, actually the role of mentors and coaches is to help you to become a better version of yourself. It's not to become who they are. It's for you to become you, but a better version of yourself. And that involves especially helping you rise up from failure, from setbacks. They're not always failure, sometimes they're setbacks. It's exposing you to new things. It's pushing you to learn, to do different things, to do things that you're not comfortable with. One of my favorite definitions of leadership is a leader is that person that you're willing to follow into the dark. When I was a child, I feared dark. So that person you're prepared to follow. So this is who that is, that person who helps you to move on to your next growth phase, even when you have doubts. Now, failure is not the bad thing that it's taken out to be. It's the way you receive it or the way you handle it. Failure is an opportunity to learn, to rise up from having fallen down, and to pick yourself up and to move on. But failure is equally it presents a very interesting perspective, in the sense that it's the opportunity for you to exercise the special words that all of us were taught as children, to apologize, to learn how to say sorry, to learn how for somebody to apologize to you, and to understand what it means, and to change, to become a better person because you've apologized, somebody has apologized to you, and to rise up and to move on. Failure is many interesting things. It's an opportunity for you to step back and exercise those keywords we're talking to our children and our grandchildren. Sorry, thank you, excuse me, those kinds of words. I know many of the young people want to move away and start talking about kindly, but it's not kindly. It's about please, and the story goes on. I think you can see I'm old enough, I have sufficient white hair, and I have been through crisis and crisis like everybody else. And the truth is, what you do during a crisis and how you come out after your crisis strengthens you. It's very important to have that resilient capability, to surround yourself with friends and relations who can make you come out of it intact. To have faith in God. There's a purpose for everything. But it's the way you handle the crisis, the way you walk through that journey, and the way you come out that makes the difference. And to be encouraged and to understand no crisis is permanent. It will end, and you come out stronger. You come out with new lessons. You come out with new ways. And you have to have the courage to rise up and become a different and a better person, no matter what the crisis is. At my practice here, I work for TUME Consulting. We interview a lot of young people, and we've done over the last 7 years and over my career, decades and decades. There are 4 important things that every student or recent student ought to know. The first one is that a good education shows the world that you have an aptitude. You're tenacious, you made it this far, you went through all of this. It tells us that you're literate, because not everybody is literate. It also tells us you're numerate. It suggests you might be able to narrate. Not every graduate is able to narrate. We test that. To narrate, to speak using language and data to make a conclusion. But it also tells us that you can become something different, or something because of the history where you've been up to date. It tells us that you have the opportunity to rise up and continue with that journey. The second thing is, it's when you finish school that your real training begins. Many people begin as a trainee. I started off my career as a management trainee many years ago. It tells us that you can be trained and you can become something. You can become an intern, a trainee, and you can rise up to be a global CEO or a prominent business person or a minister of the gospel or something. That's what finishing school does. What is important is that you identify what your values, your boundaries, your aspirations and interests are, and to keep them open, whether they are aligned with what you went to school about or not. And even if they are not, to walk that journey. So it's not to say that, I spent all these years, I became a doctor, but I no longer want to be a doctor. I want to become something else, a lawyer. Go for it, and do it. And it is important that every student understand that all of us are looking for leaders who have got good grades, who have gone so far in school, and who are educated. Now let me also tell you that education suggests to us that you have some order in your life, that the things that you learned and the way you were taught to behave can manifest in your life moving forward, that you're not the chaotic person we're so often seeing on the street today, because it questions whether these people are educated or not. It's not just about reading books. So I'd encourage students to keep an open mind, get those good grades, go as far as you can in school, and open your mind to the possibilities and enjoy your life. Yeah, tough question. The last couple of years, I've been changing my life from 12 to 14-day work days over many, many decades. And I try to do different things. I like to play a little bit of golf, to spend time with family, and sometimes to travel. I traveled a lot in my career, so it's not at the top of the list right now. I think the unusual thing that I have, and I'm very guarded about because it can be misread, is I have some peculiar things. For example, I think I'm an introverted extrovert, and therefore I might look like an extrovert, but I'm actually an introvert, and I like to spend some time doing nothing. There's a thing that men do called doing nothing. Nothing wrong with that. I sit down, it's me time, I'm doing nothing. But it helps me to rejuvenate, to reflect, or even just to rest. And I think the most important thing about these things is be you. Don't try to be somebody else. Just be you. I'd like to talk about two words there. The first one is a word called courage. Courage is not the same as bravery. Courage is a completely different word, which is often misdefined, wrongly defined. Even in the dictionary, many of the dictionaries, if you want to find out whether a dictionary is good value, look for the word courage. It's not bravery. Courage is when you set your values, your boundaries, and you say when that day comes and this happens, this is what I will do, and doing it, right? That day that somebody will ask me for a bribe, this is how I'm going and to prepare for it, okay? there are a lot of people who are not courageous because they haven't thought about the likely possibilities of what's like to happen in their life. And therefore they have not prepared sufficiently. So when that incident happens, they're not ready. They go with the flow. They go with the majority. They succumb to peer pressure. They'll do all kinds of things. Employers are looking for courageous people. People who will say, I'm not going to cross this line. I'm not going to do this, or I'm going to do that. The second thing is authenticity. We're constantly looking for who really is this. When we place senior hires, C-suite level staff, one of the biggest things that we're talking about is authenticity. We like to go back in the person's history. Who knows this person? Is this person genuine? And I think we're looking for that in political leaders. We're looking for that in our religious leaders to find a genuine person. That authenticity is so key, but it comes from a life of courage. So I'd encourage all young people to start to think about what are the possibilities that will come in life and what are the things that they will accept, the things they will not accept. It's dress, it's diet, it's friends, it's places to go, places not to go to. It's other personal preferences, it's social preferences, things like that. It's work situations, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, why, and to keep developing that list of what constitutes courage for each individual. Go back and look at that word in the dictionary. I'd say that in my leadership journey, I had a coach many years, and he wrote a book called What Got You Here Won't Get You There. His name is Marshall Goldsmith. It was one of the books that was likely a turning point in my career. And it started to show me it's all very good, you've been to school, you've done this, you've done that. But listen, you have to learn new things, you have to unlearn a lot of things, and you have to change things. And it's a journey throughout your life, no matter how what age you are. I'm currently reading, I read many books. I like to read biographies of people who made positive, lasting, and consistent changes. Biographies of people like that, or even documents that make meaning. For example, Andrew Carnegie's article, it's only 4 pages, it's written somewhere in the 1800s, titled The Gospel of Wealth. Is now becoming front and center, directing high net worth individuals on what to do with their wealth and declaring them a failure if they die rich. I'm currently reading The Atomic Habits by James, and it talks about incremental changes in positive changes. I like to read many other books, Ikigai. I've got many books that I'm reading simultaneously or listening to. Yeah. This is not so much a question as it is a statement. We're constantly looking at young people coming through the door for various opportunities, internship, whatever it is. The questions we ask, what is going to set you apart, head and shoulders, compared to your peers? What is that is going to do that? If you went for an interview to become an intern and any degree is required, or any high school qualification is required, what's going to separate you out from 5,000 applicants? Finding that one item that will cause you to stand head and shoulders above everybody. And also to suggest it's mostly in the virtuous stage, the virtuous cage of things. There's a lot of A students. There's a lot of students who've done degrees, masters, PhDs, everything. What is going to make you stand apart? It's your leadership capability. It's your virtuous, it's your authenticity. But the question I have for young people is, think about what that is and work on it really, really hard. We have an organization that places one intern on a regular basis, and they look for a person specifically from a disadvantaged environment, but with these features, right? So if you went to, is it the group of schools, or then it's not you, it's somebody. So think about what, if you are in that situation, then what makes you stand apart? That's the question I would ask young people. What will be the difference? And AYLF can give you that. That's why I'm here, because I think AYLF can give you that, but you've got to look for it and grasp it and build it.